Welcome everyone to TDL's November Member Forum. My name is Christy Park and I'm the director of the Texas Digital Library. I'm so glad you've joined us today. I want to begin today by acknowledging that we're all joining from the indigenous lands of Turtle Island, the ancestral name for what now is called North America. Though TDL staff works fully remotely and we all join from our own specific places in Texas and elsewhere, I, along with many TDL staff, joined from Austin and the Central Texas area, where the Tonkawa were among the traditional stewards of the land before their forcible removal. Moreover, TDL would like to acknowledge the Alabama Coshada, Caddo, Carrizo Comecrudo, Coahuiltecan, Comanche, Kickapoo, Lipan Apache, and Isleta del Sur Pueblo, and all the American Indian and indigenous peoples and communities who have been or have become part of these lands and territories in Texas. And I invite each of you to share your own land acknowledgements in chat if you'd like to, or to learn more about the lands on which that you're joining us. Here's our agenda for today. I'll start with some updates and we'll also report out highlights on services and projects, followed by a few community updates. You'll be hearing from me, just from me and our communications manager, Leah DeForest today. Deputy Director Courtney Muma is joining us at the start here. Hi, Courtney, but we'll have to leave shortly. She's teaching in the NEDCC's Digital Directions Conference today. So she has to transition over to that here pretty soon. Okay, so first off, I want to start today by celebrating the newest addition to the TDL team, Elliot Williams. And I hope all of you will join me in welcoming Elliot to the TDL community. Say hello, Elliot.
Hello, so glad to be part of this community.
We're so excited to have you. So Elliot is joining us to develop and promote a thriving and sustainable metadata aggregation service as part of the Texas Hub or Tex Hub for the Digital Public Library of America. He'll be providing end-to-end service coordination, including outreach, training, and service support. Elliot is a bird watcher. He's an avid bird watcher. And so we're going to play about 5 seconds of Elliot's favorite bird call. And we want you to give us your best guess. Or maybe it's not a guess. Maybe we have, avid bird watchers out there as well of what Elliot's favorite bird is in chat. So hit it, Leah. Okay, so I'm anxious to hear what people, how good people are with their bird calls. Y'all keep me informed about chat there. And while you do that, I will continue with Elliot's introduction. So Elliot comes to us from the University of Miami Libraries, where he was the Digital Initiative's metadata librarian and represented UM libraries in the Sunshine State Digital Network, which is Florida's DPLA hub. Elliot is a graduate of the UTI School with a concentration in archival enterprise. So I know many of you have met him already, either before he came to TDL or through all of the user group meetings that Elliot's been attending since he got to TDL just a few weeks ago. He's been busy learning how TDL works and meeting folks and making plans. And we're really excited to have him on board and for all of you to get to know him. So we're going to share his email in chat, and I'll go ahead and share Elliot's favorite bird here. Did anybody guess it?
Diana guessed it.
Who did? Diana. Oh, wow. Well, we don't have a prize for you, Diana, but except for the knowledge of knowing that you were correct. Elliot's favorite bird is the cedar waxwing, which is a good one. And one we'll start seeing, I think, here later in the winter. So Leah's sharing Elliot's email in chat. do reach out to him and say hello and ask any questions about the work he's doing, or if you're curious about the DPLA aggregation service, I know he'd love to hear from you about that as well. So next up, I am so thrilled to be able to announce this year's theme for TCDL. Drum roll, please. It is digital juggling. So this is going to be the theme for TCDL 2022. Our work and our lives ask us to keep all kinds of balls in the air simultaneously, managing competing priorities, adapting to new digital tools and processes, sometimes on the fly, and especially in the last couple of years. For many of us, we're even doing multiple jobs within a single library position. So we're proud of our community's ability to adapt, adopt, and thrive while juggling all these things. And we also think that all of us have earned the right to feel exhausted, annoyed, contented, thrilled, adventurous, however you feel about it. For many and in many contexts, juggling is fun and entertaining, but for others and in other contexts, it's hard work and can be exhausting. So this year, the TCDL committee invites you to consider all of the ways that the idea or concept of juggling applies to your work in libraries and archives, and our call for proposals will be out very soon, so be on the lookout for that. We'll send an email to everyone on our contacts list, so please be sure that you're on that list and subscribe to our emails. Leah will share a link in chat where you can sign up ASAP if you're not on there already. This is going to be a fun one. And speaking of conferences, we want to share a little bit about Open Texas 2022, planning for which is currently underway. This is our conference focused on open educational resources that we plan in collaboration with the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board and the Digital Higher Education Consortium of Texas. And we're really pleased to share that Dr. Rebecca Karoff from the University of Texas System will serve as the 2022 conference chair. In her position as Associate Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs for the UT system, Dr. Karoff has worked to build system-wide momentum for the adoption of open educational resources and more equitable access and outcomes for Texas students. So we're really thrilled to have her on board as we continue planning for next year's conference. The steering committee is seeking members for our conference planning committees, which will organize OT 22. Leah's going to paste links into chat where you can learn about the different committee responsibilities and let us know if you're interested in serving on or leading one of those committees. The deadline to sign up is Friday, December 3rd, and please feel free to contact me or Leah if you have any questions about what we're up to with that planning. We'd love to see great representation from the TDL community on those planning committees, and it'll be a fun time. Okay, so next we'll move into our services and project updates, starting with DSpace and repository hosting. So with our DSpace hosting service, we've been technically in some DSpace sprints focused on some under the hood work to move our repositories to a new operating system within Amazon Web Services. We've been late getting started on that work because of some OJS work that has interrupted it, which I'll talk about in a second. So we will begin this work before the end of the year on DSpace. And along with that migration to a new operating system, Nick Woodward will be implementing a new feature in the DSpace user interface to improve the ways that downloads and views are displayed on item pages. We're communicating with repository managers directly about these updates as they get scheduled. So be on the lookout for that if you're the main contact for your repository at your institution. We also just this week sent out a survey to the TDL DSpace user group about DSpace version 7, asking you to provide feedback on essential features yet to be developed for future releases of 7 so that we can plan effectively for upgrades, hopefully sometime in 2022. So if you are not on the TDL DSpace user group list and you think you ought to take that survey, do let me know. We want to hear from as many folks as possible about what they think are essential features we should be waiting for. Related to OJS and open academic journals, we're continuing work on some things that we discussed in the last forum last month, like eliminating spam user accounts and better monitoring our bounced emails that are coming from journals so that we can do some better user management there. We're also continuing to work on migrating the Borrowers and Lenders Journal for Arizona State University libraries to TDL systems. Nick Woodward is heading up that project. Our OJS user group meets for the next time and our final meeting of the year on December 2nd. And that will be the last meeting with Alexa Height as chair of the group before we have new chairs take over. We'll be using that meeting to discuss the group's work in the coming year. And that, I think, is going to be focused on looking together at better defining policy and practice boundaries between TDL and member institutions, and maybe defining some policies a little bit better as they relate to the journal hosting service. So if you work with journals at your institution and you haven't been engaged with that user group, this is a great time to check in and attend that meeting on December 2nd. All right, and I'm covering Courtney's updates today since she can't be here, starting with digital preservation. So on November 4th, which was World Digital Preservation Day, Courtney wrote a blog post reviewing how TDL members have progressed over the past few years. While writing it, she says she was reminded that it's been a while since we hosted a digital preservation training or event outside of our quarterly interest group meetings or web archiving events. So we're going to share a link in chat where you can read that blog post and more about that work. Also, to that end, we want you to take our practices survey to help TDL share the resources, strategies, and experiences that will strengthen Texas's commitment to digital preservation. We want to learn more about the various local tools, workflows, and policies that you have in place so that we can shape the digital preservation training and guidance that we offer in the next couple of years. The survey will close on December 1st, and we'll share the results on the TDL Digital Preservation Wiki. I'll just note that only one question is required in that survey. So you can answer as much or as little as you'd like, and we want to hear from as many folks as possible there. So I encourage you to take it. We estimate that it won't take more than 15 minutes to complete it, even if you answer all the questions. So it's not a big time commitment. And we're collecting emails just for the purpose of following up if you indicate you'd like us to. Secondly, want to give a quick web archiving update. The Web Archiving Texas Interest Group, or WATSIG, as we affectionately refer to it as, will welcome Ilya Kramer and Lorena Ramirez Lopez of Web Recorder to demonstrate some of their tools to TDL members, staff, and friends. We'll have a chance to see their capture and replay tools, hear about an exciting new web archiving format, and even get a sneak peek of a web archives viewer that they've embedded in an institutional repository. So please register for that event. When you register, you'll have an opportunity to indicate what kinds of web content you normally capture or what you'd like to capture. The tools should also work well for social media content, especially Twitter and Instagram, if you have any examples of those pages you'd like to capture. So take a look at the event page and learn more and register. Leah's going to share links in chat for that. And now we're going to move into our community updates section, and I'll hand it over to Leah.
Christy, and others, I don't know if it's my screen or others, but the screen appears to be frozen on the OJS updates. Is that just me?
Uh-oh. What about now?
It is not just you, Leah,
Oh, okay.
but I did not notice because I'm trying to multitask. Sorry.
So, well, yeah, me too. So it is showing as frozen on service and project updates with DSpace and OJS.
Okay, I'll stop sharing and reshare and you go ahead and get started.
Will do, and thanks. Okay. Well, good morning, everyone. This is Leah DeForest. I use she, her pronouns. I'm the communications manager with Texas Digital Library and just really glad to see you all here today. And over the years, some of you may have worked with us on this, and we've sponsored a number of local archives bazaars, such as the DFW or Houston or Austin archives bazaars. And these are public events that are really fun and nearly always free to the public, who are invited to engage with local archives, and they often include our member institutions as organizers, participants, or exhibitors. And so we just want to put a call out that if our members or partners are planning to participate in the local archives bazaar, let us know, because we'd love to find a way to promote and collaborate and possibly even sponsor these events. And if you're interested, you can email me, you can email our info@TDL. Even if you're just kind of like not sure how to start, we'd love to just pick your brain and figure something out. So if you have any questions, please let us know. We'll also post links into chat here. These are a few examples of different bazaar websites from the area. The Borderlands Travels, I think this year or early last year, it might have been in New Mexico, but it does come back to Texas occasionally. So just FYI there. And yeah, do let us know, please, on those. Okay, any luck on the screen? I'm still seeing the service update slide.
I
Me
know.
too.
I have lost all my Zoom controls. Like I can't even mute or anything.
Do you
So
want me to try? I can try to multitask. I'll never do it as well as you.
yeah,
Okay,
sorry. I think I'm stuck.
no worries. We'll figure it out. All right, I think I have to stop sharing your screen. How's that? Okay. One moment. Also, I don't know if any UNT folks were at that DFW Archives Bazaar, but we were able to just at the last minute get our sponsorship done. And many, many thanks to Morgan Geringer there for helping us get that in. And Morgan, if you're listening, we are working on getting that check to you. Hence, earlier note about Alex not being here and things not going as easily. Okay. All righty. Thanks for your patience, everyone. All right, we are going to cruise. Close your eyes, it might make you dizzy. Okay, this is where we left off. And then this was where we were with the Archives Bazaar. So everyone should be all caught up. Okay, so archivists and friends of archivists. We have a number of opportunities for you where we'd like to hear your voice. So one is the Society of Southwest Archivists Call for Proposals. This is the SSA's first in-person annual meeting in 2 years, and this will be in May, the week before TCDL, May 18th through 21st. Their theme is Small Steps, Giant Leaps, which is focusing on some barriers faced, creative solutions, and what the quote unquote new normal looks like for your archives. And this, the CFP will close on December 18th, and I will post a link in chat at the end of my section, but no matter who you are, whether you're an archivist or not, you just have to check out SSA's conference theme logo because it's fabulous. Next up, the 2021 National Digital Stewardship Alliance Staffing Survey is designed to gain insight into current and ideal staffing for digital preservation programs. And this survey has been developed based on prior iterations back in 2017 and all the way back in 2012. So this survey is more comprehensive, including very specific demographic, training, funding, preservation planning types of questions. But we'd love to see you all take that. That becomes really valuable data for the NDSA to start measuring and making recommendations. So FYI, that'll take a bit. It's about a 20 to 25 minute survey, and it'll be open until December 10th. And then the last survey is also for archivists and memory workers. And they have asked every person in the US who works with archival materials in any capacity, regardless of employment status or title. So this really could be just about any of us on this call. This survey will take, again, about 30 minutes to complete, and it closes really soon on Friday, December 3rd. But again, like the NDSA, that census survey seems like a really great comprehensive way to compare our work over time. And again, I'll share links in chat when I'm done with the community updates section, because multitasking, not my strength. We have a bunch of member group meetings upon us through the end of 2021, yikes, and also starting up pretty quickly when we get back after winter break. Again, I'll send links for some of these. You can skim this list as I'm just sharing a few reminders. We had a recent research integrity working group meeting last month and had a really lively discussion around different areas of focus and research integrity, learning models, and working together to build these out for your own campuses. These were focused in different areas like research data management, diversity, equity, inclusion, and authorship and publishing. So just a reminder for those of you who attended, we'd like to just remind you to find and communicate your fellow group members, and be sure to reach out to Dr. Herbert and Dr. Hare for advice along the way if you need it. Also, even if you didn't attend that meeting and you want to jump in on a learning module, you can contact me or info@tdl.org. And if you're still interested in just generally participating in the group, we'll have a link for you to subscribe to the listserv, and we'd love to have you join in. Another reminder, our accessible AV group, also love to see so many of our members there. They're convening a steering committee to coordinate a meeting to plan and curate a webinar series around really solid AV practices and digital collections. So if you have signed up for that steering committee, and there were a good number of you, thank you for doing that. And please do make sure to respond to the doodle poll that Mirko sent out to schedule a meeting. We're shooting for the week of November 29th sometime, right after Thanksgiving. And then last but not least, bittersweet news here, but last week at the Hangout, we announced that when our regulars were there, that we'll be moving to a quarterly Hangout schedule since March of 2020. Our weekly, and then we moved to bi-weekly Hangouts have been a really wonderful way for members and partners and friends and pets and plants and kids to come together to just be in Zoom together. We have all loved having this opportunity to get to know our members this way, but we are going to move to a quarterly over a bi-weekly schedule. So keep an eye out. These are going to resume in early spring semester. So think January, February. We'll have a new quarterly schedule, new recurring date and time and Zoom link, and we'll announce that very soon. And do hope you'll join us back again for those. So I've got a bunch of links to paste in chat, and then I'm going to hand things back to Christy. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Leah. And I hope everybody can hear me okay. Thanks for jumping in on the fly there. Everybody got a little taste of digital juggling there. Not maybe the prettiest case of it, but appreciate you jumping in with the screen sharing. We do have some time for questions if anybody has them, for me, for Leah, for Elliot, for any of us. We'd love to hear from you. So I'll just pause for a second and see if there are any questions.
This is not very related, but since we were just talking about the Hangouts, any chance we could have a virtual holiday happy hour in December? Question mark.
I think that's a great idea, Alexa. And maybe let me and Leah put our heads together on that. I think we should have some kind of holiday or before the break happens, social hour, and we can definitely make that happen. I want to see everybody before the end of the year.
Anyone have to talk about birds or anything else you want to guess that, Elliot, what's Elliot's favorite sandwich? I know. Does anyone else know?
I want to know his favorite famous birder.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if I have one. I feel like I need to pick one now.
Are there famous birders? It shows my ignorance.
Every circle has its famous people.
Who's
There's
yours?
a really good YouTube series called Birds of North America. I highly recommend it. Its star is Jason Ward, who's a famous birder. And I just moved to College Station, as you know, and his brother is a semi-famous birder that lives here, and he lives here in Bryan. So I'm like looking for it's like a class F celebrity, right? Over every time I'm out in nature. So
That's
check
really
out Birds of North America on YouTube. It's a great series.
Good rec. My favorite non-famous birder is my mother-in-law, but I'm not well-versed in birding culture enough to know the big names. That's awesome.
So this is the last thing I'll say. But so the folks who started that series, Jason Ward and his brother Jeffrey Ward, who lives here, they also started the Black Scientist hashtag movement on Twitter with Black Birders Week in late 2019, early 2020. So they're like famous in more than just birders. They're like famous in general scientific circles.
That's very cool. I'm seeing there's a lot of birding chatter in chat. And I see Leah mentioned my ancient laptop. Yeah, I think it was probably it was a foolish idea for me to share my screen. My laptop is on its proverbial last legs, and we're having trouble getting replacements right now. I'm betting everybody's feeling that pain. Well, if there aren't any other questions, we will wrap it up for this time around. But thank you for all of your engagement and suggestions and recommendations and guessing at favorite birds. Leah's showing the slide with all of the links from today's presentation. We'll share out these slides and the recording when we have it ready. We always love seeing everybody here, and we hope you all have a wonderful break next week with your families, loved ones, or on your own, however you're spending the time. And we'll see you again after Thanksgiving and once we get into December. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.